Hi everybody, I'm Zach Meloy, and today we are going to be doing a seasonal favorite of mine, a pan-roasted chicken breast that we're going to be glazing in a Miso Dulce de Leche, serving it with some charred red onion and kind of a crisp carrot salad. First thing that you want to do with this recipe is we're going to be working with a heavy cast iron skillet. And so what we want to do first is we're going to start with some big slabs of red onion here that we've just cut, and we are going to season these liberally with some salt and some fresh cracked black pepper. And you want this to go straight into a hot pan. It's really important that if you're doing this at home, that you have good ventilation, that you have your hood vent on, that you have your fans going, that you got the windows open. You'll start to see a little smoke around the edges. Onions in. If you don't hear a sizzle, take them out. You want to be really careful when you do this too. It's really easy to kind of drop this and that flat side can hit that oil and splatter. So be very careful when you make that move. Best part about this recipe is that we're going to be burning this on purpose. We're going to get this good char on both sides of the onion here. And this is going to add a kind of extra meaty quality to this dish. So medium-high heat, just to keep that smoke down a little bit, but this is exactly what you want to have happen. You're going to be tempted to poke at this and move it around and lift it up and look at it. Don't. Leave it where it is. So we're just going to let this happen for a second, okay? So while we're waiting for these onions to char off, we're going to take a step over and we're going to put together our Miso Dulce de Leche glaze. So what you can do, this is super easy, takes a little bit of time, but you literally don't have to do anything at all. I'll take a can of condensed milk and submerge it in a pot of just simmering water, and you can leave it there submerged for about 5 hours, and at the end of the 5 hours, you'll get a handy-dandy pair of tongs and carefully remove that can. You want to ice this down before cracking it open. And this is going to be the final product. When you cut it open, you're going to have this rich, thick caramel. Oh my God. This is one of the reasons why I chose this recipe. We're heading into October, it's Halloween, and it's kind of a fun surprise to serve something that's sweet, almost related to dessert during your dinner. I'm going to take about 2 tablespoons, let's call this 1 tablespoon of this kind of thick dulce de leche. And we're going to take a tiny bit of white miso paste. So kind of the key here that we're looking for is consistency. We want this to be a good kind of spreadable glaze. As you can see right now, this is really thick. Okay, so we're just going to mix this together right now just to get our consistency right. And then what we do in trying to hit all of those flavor notes, kind of that hot, sour, salty, sweet, we're going to add a little bit of rice wine vinegar. You can see that the onion kind of starts to separate and push itself apart. This is one of my favorite ways to cook an onion right here because it burns on that base, and I'll show you when I flip it over here. But you can see the rings. That allows the steam to come up through the onion and steam it. See? Oh my God. So we're going to let these go for just a couple more minutes. You want them to be black on both sides, just like this. So we're here. The onions are done, and we're going to take them out of the pan. But don't lose the pan. We're going to continue cooking in this same pan. This can be done with boneless, skinless. I chose to leave the skin on here because I like to have that little extra bit of flavor. It's kind of like chicken bacon, right? So we're going to season salt and pepper just like that. Always kosher salt, always fresh cracked black pepper. Okay? You can see that our pan obviously is still really hot. We want to turn this down just a little bit, and we're going to add some neutral oil. So we're going straight into this cast iron pan that's hot where we just burned our onions. Again, if you don't hear that sizzle, get it out. You want to make sure that the food that you're cooking sizzles just like that when it goes into the pan. Okay? At this point right now, you want to reduce this down to about a medium heat. We'll just step off to the side and we'll put together just a really quick carrot salad that's going to go on top of it. I wanted to do it with a mandolin just because you have that really good control of getting a really thin slice on these carrots. I like to have something that's nice and thick and kind of leafy like this. We're going to hit these right now with a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. I have a little splash of rice wine vinegar again, and I have a tiny bit of some local wildflower honey. Then the idea is just to mix this really well. The honey, if it kind of crystallizes like that honey did, it's totally fine. You can either warm it up, or I like to just kind of mix it in. These carrots are going to macerate for a second, and that salt is going to kind of tenderize and partially cook these carrots, almost like it were a ceviche. And we'll check back in on our chicken. You can see here, if you kind of look at the edge before we've even touched it, you can start to see kind of the golden color that's starting to develop around the edges, and you can start to see right here this kind of white edge. Carefully flip these over, check. Oy, just like that. Good, rich, golden color. So while the backside of the chicken breast is cooking right here, we're gonna go ahead and hit it with a little bit of our miso glaze. The idea when you make this glaze, is that when you taste it, you're not gonna taste one ingredient more than the other. You wanna be able to taste the miso, but you also say, oh no, but maybe that's that dulce de leche. We're gonna let this sit just like this, and we're gonna let it keep cooking. Just give it about 30 seconds or so on that last side to caramelize that glaze that we just put on the bottom, and then we take it out of the pan. Okay, so you've given your chicken about 5 minutes to rest, and now we're gonna dive in and slice it up. Just do a couple of quick slices. Carefully lift up and over. We're gonna grab our onions and our carrots, and we're gonna finish this whole thing up. These charred onion steaks, we're just kind of break apart into these rings, kind of lay these in here, and then we're gonna dive into our carrots like fallen leaves. So there we have it. This is our chicken breast that we've glazed in miso dulce de leche that we're serving with charred red onion and a crisp carrot salad. For more recipes like this, please visit springermtn.com, and thank you so much for watching.